given me the responsibility to talk about the mindset. And I believe that mindset is probably the most important piece. That's why in every training that we ever do, we always lead off with mindset. And the mindset that it takes to be successful in this particular company is unique because we're in the ground floor opportunities. Does that make sense? And so from a mindset standpoint, we have to develop what we call a pioneer's mindset. You know, we have to develop the type of mindset that says, you know, hey, I understand that I'm one of the first ones in. Does that make sense? Yeah. And see, it takes vision. So we understand that it takes vision when you're pioneering something, when you're one of the first ones in. We understand that you know, we're going to go through things that the people who come behind us won't go through. Does that really make sense? I mean, just think about it like this. I mean, think about Henry Ford. Everybody here knows who Henry Ford is, right? Think about Henry Ford for a second. When he went to his first initial investor meeting, and he sat down and said, guys, we're going to put together an automobile. That's a great idea. That's wonderful. You've already got the engine, you got, you know, the automobile is ready to go, what have you. But the only problem that we have here is that, you know, how are these automobiles going to drive across country? There aren't any roads. I mean, how are they going to get from point A to B? Henry said, well, one day, there's going to be pavement all across the country. And every street is going to connect to another street. There's going to be bridges that's going to go across water and all these things. And so his investor said, well, Henry, we want to be with you, man, but are you certain? Because when I look out there, I don't see nothing but trees anywhere, right? And dirt roads. And so one of the other investors said, well, you know, okay, let's just assume that you're right. One day, somebody's going to create enough concrete to pave an entire country where a car can be driven across town, across the country. He said, that's exactly what's going to happen. The next investor stood up and said, well, okay, Henry, okay, we're okay with that. But what is this thing going to run on? He said, it's going to take gasoline. He said, well, how far would it take a gas? Take the car. Well, back then, it wasn't very far, you know, like you here to the highway, right? Okay. He said, so people have to drive with gas? He said, no, don't worry about it, guys. I'm telling you, I got the whole thing figured out. One day, there's going to be a gas station on every corner across the country. Matter of fact, one day there's going to be 4 gas stations on every single corner. I don't know if you had that much vision, but you see where I'm going with this, right? One day there's going to be a gas station on every single corner. He said, okay, Henry, we're going to try to, we want to be with you because, you know, we think you're a genius, but you're really stretching. Are you sure one day there's going to be a gas station on every corner? He said, absolutely. He said, well, what about when it breaks down? He said, I'm glad you brought that up. Because one day, there are going to be thousands of people who know how to build the same thing I just built, who can repair it when it breaks down. You guys with me? Yeah. Do you think that took a little bit of vision for the people who got involved with Henry Ford? Do you think they're okay now? Because see, their kids are still living off of that vision. And guess what? The kids who had kids, their kids are going to still be living off of that vision. See, it took vision. And see, it's okay that Henry Ford had vision. But see, that's not what we're here to talk about today. See, we're here to talk about your vision. Are you guys with me? Because see, their vision don't feed your family. Their vision doesn't pay you. Only your vision does. Does that make sense? And so when we start talking about mindset and what does it take to be successful, the very first thing I tell people is that you have to have a vision for where you want to go. I promise. See, we're going to have some good days and bad days, right? There's going to be some ups and downs. See, my mentor told me once, he said, Senghor, you know, every day is not going to be sunny. He said, even if it was, understand that all sunshine produces nothing but desert. You're going to have a little rain, right? You're going to have some vegetation. You can't eat the dirt, can you? Someone also said that a bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. Let me repeat that. A bend in the road is not the end of the road unless you fail to make the turn. So can you make the turns with us as we go through this wavy road of building this business? Are you guys getting me?
Yeah.
See, you have to understand, there's going to be some days where everybody's going to show up and get in. And there's going to be some days where nobody shows up. They try to talk you out of your opportunity. Does that make sense? See, this is not about them. This is about the vision that you have. That's the reason why you have to identify what it is you want to accomplish out of this business. It's what we call your reason why. You have to figure out what you want to get done in this business. And then you have to be able to connect the dots. You have to say. The second thing is, you have to stay off what we call the emotional roller coaster. Again, there's going to be good days and bad days. There's going to be ups and downs. There's going to be some times when you're on, sometimes you're going to be off. The problem is, it's okay to get excited. Are you guys excited? Yeah. Y'all make some noise. Are y'all excited? Yeah. It's okay to get excited, but don't get too excited when you can't come down. Okay? It's okay to get in the dumps, but don't go too low when you can't get out. See, the problem is a lot of times when you get down in the dumps, misery loves company, because there's always going to be some people already down there waiting on you. They were hoping you were coming. So in the party, you got some complaints, we got some too. If we put them together, we have one big complaint. Are you guys with me? Are you guys really with me? Yeah. Don't fall in that trap. Okay. Now the next thing you want to do in reference to having a proper mindset, guys, you must develop a belief system that will allow you to have success. See, no matter how simple a business opportunity is, you still can fail in this business. And here's how. See, whether you think you can or think you can't, you're absolutely right. That's how you fail in this business. Get rid of the stinking thinking. Whoever told you that you couldn't make it, this is your opportunity to prove them wrong. Does that make sense? Whoever told you you could make $100 grand a month, we're going to make a lie out of it. Is that all right? See, you guys, you have to have a belief system. See, the number one reason why people never get the things they really want in life is because they don't believe that they can have it. And the highest form of a belief that you can have is an attitude that's in support of what you want. Now, we don't have time to go into it, but I want you to write the word attitude down, straight down your sheet of paper. A-T-T-I-T-U-D-E. Attitude, A-T-T-I-T-U-D-E. Now, if you write out the alphabet, we're not going to do it right now, but you write the alphabet. If you look at each letter in the alphabet and you give them their numerical value, meaning A is the number 1, you figure out what the letter T is, you figure out the other letter T, I, you go all the way down that word. And if you go down, you add each one of those numbers up, and you get down to the bottom of that page there, and you total up what the numerical value of each one of those letters, it comes up to 100. And I hated to just skip through it like that. I really wanted to give it to you, but it equals up to be 100. So if somebody's counting, you go ahead and do the math. But why is that? See, I don't believe that there are any accidents, guys. I believe your attitude it makes it 100% of what it takes to be successful in life. If you can't develop the right beliefs, then if nothing else, develop the right attitude. Just come here with an attitude, the attitude that I will win. Does that make sense? Okay. The other thing about belief is that if you find yourself in a situation, see, at any given time, there's always two different things that you can focus on. You can focus on what's wrong, or you can focus on what's right. You can focus on what's missing, or you can focus on what's there. See, it's your choice. And it's okay which one you decide. I'm just telling you that one limits your success, and the other takes off all limitations. Does that make sense? See, not only do you have to identify what you want, but you have to make sure you only focus on what you want and leave everything else out of the door. You guys, is that you must begin with the end in mind. Now, what do I mean by that? You must go ahead and know what it is you want to accomplish in this business as you get started. So you got to have a target. You got to set goals. Now, I don't mean that the little types of goals that we set in the past and we don't even go after, the New Year's resolutions and that type of, I'm not talking about those types. I'm talking about the type of goals that will guarantee. People like to use the word guarantee anymore, do they? These type of goals will guarantee that you succeed in this business and get what you want out of it. Guarantee. And what do I mean by that? See, a goal that's properly written is a goal that it lays out the roadmap towards the accomplishment of itself. Does that make sense? A goal that's properly written is one that lays out the game work, that shows you the steps you got to take in order to get to where you're looking to go. So you have to decide, A, where do I want to go? B, when do I want to get there? And then C, what are all the things I need to do in order to be able to accomplish that? Does that make sense? So if my goal is to lose 20 pounds, which is one of my goals, okay, then I have to take actions that's in support of that. So what actions would I need to take? Maybe exercise a little bit, right? See, every time I ride with one of my friends that's here in the room, and that red light goes off, saying that it's hot, the Krispy Kreme donuts, see, I start taking actions that's not in support of what I said I wanted, right? So you have to make sure that you take actions that are in support of what your goals are. So if that was my goal, if my goal was to lose 20 pounds in 60 days, then I also would include inside of that goal, I would say how we'll go about achieving that. I'm going to have a diet that's less than 1,800 calories per day. I'm going to do some type of diet exercise every single day, some type of cardio exercise. I'm going to weight train 3 times a week. Do you see that if I hit those smaller goals, automatically by default, I would have no choice but to hit the bigger goals? Do you understand that everything that you want in your life has the exact same type of format attached to it? All you have to do is figure out the ingredients to go into it. See, that's the problem with success. That's the problem with success today. People hit the lottery and they're broke again. The problem with success is that people think it's instant, like their grits and their mashed potatoes. Just add water, right? See, if you don't know the ingredients that goes into your personal success, if you don't know the ingredients that must go into your personal success, how can you ever replicate what you're doing? If you ever have to do it again. Does that make sense? See, guys, you need to know what the sub-steps are. What things that you need to do to get you where you want to be. Today's training is part of that. You're going to learn today certain things that you need to do to get you where you want to go inside of this business. Guys, that's my time. I want to just tell you guys that as you perceive this information, as you receive this information today, guys, it's your attitude that's going to determine your altitude in this business. Does that make sense? So approach this with the right attitude.